Joey Gargiulo here, sitting outside a downstream casino just outside of Joplin, Missouri, right where Kansas, Missouri, and the state of Oklahoma all meet. I'm actually standing in Oklahoma right now, but the cornerstone is only, well, of those three states, is literally I could walk to it. Actually, this is a really cool casino because there's a lot of things you could walk to, including a buffalo pen where you can actually see albino buffaloes. Three of them I saw, and I think it's something like 1 out of 10 million or something, or one. It's crazy. 1 out of 10 million buffaloes are born albino, and I got to see one. And this place, especially the Run Good series, it's where you're gonna find 1 out of 10 million players, 1 out of 10 million people that run tournaments, everybody from the floor to the organizers. This was a great stop. It was by far my most favorite stop for a lot of reasons. Number one, I won my second, right there, my second Run Good Series ring. Apparently, I tied the record now for having to win two Run Good Series rings in one season. I didn't know that. I tied the record. How cool is that? Inspiration. Maybe I could win three in one season. We'll see what happens. But this was a great trip. Um, the floor, super great management. Mr. Murphy, I love you, man. You run a tight ship. I was just teasing you, but it's the truth. Somebody said to me, man, that guy runs like the soup Nazi from Seinfeld, but you should have rules. And we do have rules, but you should have somebody who enforces them. And the dealers, I can't say enough, and I will forget everybody. I will. I apologize if I forget your name. All right. I saw some good friends here. All right. I saw Jason. I saw Drew. I saw my friend Steve, and we had some good time. I saw Billy and Luana, and I met some new dealer friends like my friend David, and I could go down a list of all the amazing dealers that I ran into that I know, and I'll use up 25 minutes of video naming everybody in those videos, and but in this video, but I promise you, the staff that follows Murph around the country, the deal for him is pretty amazing because he does treat his dealers and his employees really well. And that's the secret. You know, the tone obviously is set by Tanner and Haley with Run Good series. If you've never played in the Run Good series, you have no idea what you're missing. I mean, I love a lot of series, and you know, there's a lot of money out there and stuff, but you're never gonna find structure, so much fun, and so many amazing ambassadors. Like my friend Poker Face Ash, right? And Dan Lowry and Donk. And I'll go down the whole list, man. There's so many. Oh my God. I met Preston for the first time, played with him. I met a lot of really cool people at this stop. And once again, I could fill up 25 minutes of video just mentioning names. And I saw a lot of my Oklahoma friends, a lot of regulars. Like a big shout out to my friend Dale, right? Dale, you know I love you. And Dale's designing a tattoo for me. And guess what? He paints with his mouth. Like he do not. He has a paintbrush. You have to look at his website. I'll post it. I'm going to do a review about Dale as a player. And I met my friend Jim, who just won his World Series of Poker ring. And he did it with his wife at the final table. How amazing is that? And I just got to see him again too, which was pretty darn good. And I saw my friend Pete, man. Ooh, he's a legend. He and I were heads up for last time when I won my first Run Good Series ring. And you just don't know. And I saw my friend Clarence, who was inside right now, not dealing, but playing for a ring in the main event. Pretty awesome, right? I could just go on and on. It's like if you want to be surrounded by an amazing group of people, both players, dealers, you name it, people running the floor like Marshall. Marshall's here. How cool is that, man? He was both running the floor and he actually got the deal too, which is kind of awesome, right? And I'm going to forget somebody, and don't be mad at me. Come on, I forget people's birthdays sometimes, right? It is what it is. But anyway, downstream, It's not the largest casino, it's just the right size. They have a really, really cool uh, cash room for sure. And they have everything going. They have PLO going this week, and usually they do it on the weekends. They have 1-3. Their big game is 5, 10, 20, and I'll tell you, there's some good money there. And that is where the best thing happened being on the strip. Other than food, the food was good. They have if they have a good steakhouse, but I got a tip because everybody knows I review foods. If you're looking for a good steak, just go to this Legend Sports Bar. I brought my good friend Grant Hart, and we went and his friend Rob and a couple other people I know. We had a steak, the ribeye at the Legends restaurant, which is right next to the bar where they have live bands on the weekend. They had a really good ribeye. Somebody gave me a really good tip, and you know who they are. And they said the steak is there better than the steakhouse, and that is true. It was really, really good. And locally, there was a lot of cool things to do. Actually, I got to uh, I got to see why Downstream is named Downstream, and it's an Indian name that means downstream of the rough water, which in this situation comes from the Shoal Creek, and the Shoal Creek has waterfalls. We found waterfalls, and I say we because my partner in crime, my life coach, the man that fills the gaps in all the shit that I don't know, Eddie Shade, or you might call him Sade, Eddie Joey, because he is another Joey. His middle name is Joey. My partner in crime, he brought me to waterfalls in Missouri, where I found a lot of zen. He brought me to Route 66. We went to Uranus, and we bought fudge. Can you imagine? Delicious fudge comes from Uranus, Missouri. I kid you not. Google it. All right, Route 66 is really cool. And there's a surprise you that every day on my way here, I had to travel I-44, and everybody knows that read my book, and you have to read my book. It's out. It's in Barnes and Nobles. You can go to barnesandnoble.com. You can go to amazon.com. It's called Bullied and Blind, and it's an inspirational book. A lot of people reaching out to me saying they're gifting to other people that they know too, because they know some people that maybe a little inspiration. Because no matter how bad things beat you up in life, no matter how you have those bad beats at a poker table or bad beats in life, you got to keep on smiling, right? Because life is good. Life is really good. It's great to be alive. Look at this beautiful day. Oh my God. It's a little chilly, but I don't care. Downstream Casino, Joplin, Missouri. Run Good series. Get your photo taken by that professional, amazing photographer, Rachel. Have my good friend Liam write up a really good article about you when you win something or lose something, because he writes both. And by the way, I found out Liam is a goddamn really good poker player. Shit, yeah, man, we went deep in the ring event that I won my ring in here. Ah, oh my God, as I keep on making this video, more and more names just keep jumping into my head. I had so much fun. I can't. It's going to take me forever just to reflect on everything that went on this week. But I'll tell you, the most important thing that happened this week is I found my bliss. I realized that no matter how bad you think you have it, somebody else has it worse than us. They do. And you know what else I found? The more good karma and energy I put out there. I knew this already, but it's really an explanation point on life. I found out just keep treating people the way you want to be treated, with respect and love. Love everybody. Even people, if you run into somebody that wronged you, and I did here, it's okay. Who cares? Let bygones be bygones. And when they get in your face about shit, just smile. Just smile. Because the best thing you could do, the best feeling you could have, even if you want to get back at somebody, the best revenge you could have is just to live life well. Live well and prosper, right? That's the best revenge. It's not revenge against other people. It's just revenge against all the negative energy. And what I found is not just myself, that I found. The more I surround myself with positive people, the more I attract more positive energy that just wants to just accumulate around me, and I give it out as much as I can. I do. But I found out it becomes like a force field. a force field to negative energy. The negative energy just bounces off of us. So I know this was supposed to be just a review about Downstream and the incredible Run Good series. Oh my God, you got to run good at a Run Good series. I kid you not. And I do run good because I'm surrounded by people that love me, and that's all that matters. Anyway, be well, my friends. Next stop coming up, Choctaw, Oklahoma. WPT. Oh my God, it's coming. Oh, and by the way, in that cash room, I didn't finish to tell you what happened. My son, when he was moving from Connecticut to Austin, Texas, said, "Hey, Dad," when I was at his house, he was renting, he said, "Dad, I got some poker books. Would you like one?" And he's like, "You really should take this one." And he hands me an older edition of Mike Caro's Book of Tells. And I had that book with me, and guess who was here in the tournament? And I found him in the cash room, Mike Caro. And I got an autograph in the book that my son gave me. So I'm returning that book to my son in better condition than I found it, with Mike Caro's signature inside of it. The legend, the ambassador. He is literally the madman of poker. Everybody knows who he is. And not only did he sign my book, but I handed him a handful of my crystals that were shaped like arrowheads, because everybody knows that Mike Caro probably got it from his father and his grandfather. He reminds everybody that the way to pronounce his last name is it rhymes with the word arrow. So if you happen to be in a cash room or a tournament and you see Mike Caro using a large arrowhead that looks like it's carved out of some kind of expensive crystal, you can walk up to him and say, "Mike, I know exactly who you got that arrow from. You got it from Joey." Mike Carroll, can you imagine Mike Carroll's walking around with one of my crystals right now? How cool is that as a card protector? An arrow from Mr. Caro. An arrow from Mr. Caro. And right there, I told everybody I had such a smile on my face. Like, I thought it was emotional in that second ring because it was hard. I just kid you not. I was at a final table. It was a flip and go tournament. That the second day was a regular tournament. And you would think a flip and go, that's an easy final table. But I, by far, over this past year, I've been to like 14, 15 final tables now, I guess, something like that. And I was at probably like 8 or 9 tables before. I mean, I have more 10th places than anybody. How many times I was bubble boy for a final table in this past year when I started? But by far, the toughest table that I had to overcome, the toughest win out of my 3 championships so far, was this weekend. It was so much so that when I won it, before I did the whole photo shoot in my ring, I told them I had to go pee, but I really went into the bathroom to cry, just to let out the emotions. And even when I walked back in the room, after composing myself, and I saw everybody, and I gave Eddie a hug and thanked him for everything he did, and I had so many people that I know and I love, and people that I don't even know, that just came up to me and gave me love and congratulated me. I burst out in tears again, because it really, when you know my life story, when you read my book, you understand why. Every day is like the last day that I'm going to be able to see something like a championship ring. It's the last day I'm going to be able to look. It could be the last day that I'll be able to be heads up against a very, very good opponent, looking down at my cards and having to make a decision for my tournament life. And I love that. And I will cherish that forever. And I will respect that for as long as I'm here. Because there is no tomorrow. There's only right now. Live in the present, my friends. Forget the bad past. Yeah, you can learn lessons from it, but forget the bad past. Don't worry about the future. That's just going to create anxiety. Who wants to live with anxiety? But more important than all, and this is my philosophy of life. It's in my book. More important, all these, live in the present. Forget the bad past. Don't worry about the future. That's all part of my philosophy in life. It's in my book. But the most important part is never, ever, ever let anyone, anything faze you. Never. And when I wrote those words, I was probably 12 years old. Maybe 11 years old when I wrote them the first time. but I never knew what it meant until now. What that means is just be so good to everybody. You get so much good karma. Surround yourself with all this amazing positive energy so that all that negative energy just bounces off of you like it's not even there. That's the secret to life, my friends, and the secret to smiling. Love you guys. Peace out. Joey Gargiulo.